Crystal Diaz here. Hello, Instagram. Hello, everyone. It's Crystal Diaz here. I'm a vocal coach at CSMA Studio and co-founder of the Online Vocal Academy. And if you're watching live or you're watching the replay, say hello. Hello, Yen Lee. I see you. Thank you for joining me. Let me know that you can hear me okay. I'm broadcasting from a different location today. Usually I'm broadcasting from my studio. Today I'm broadcasting from home. It is well and truly work from home day today. I'm coming to you live, and if you guys can hear me, I'd love for you to pop a message in the chat box. I'm seeing some of the chats here, so if you have a question or let me know that it sounds good. Thank you so much. Yes, thanks so much. Okay, you guys can hear me. Awesome. I'm really excited today because I wanted to share with you something that I learned recently. And I actually learned this from a business coach of mine. So I have a few different business coaching mentors, and this was a 3-step process that really simplified how to move through fear and anxiety. And what I've done is I realized that the same 3-part process can be applied to singers. So if you are a singer or somebody who loves to sing, and you love to sing, but you are paralyzed or afraid of singing in front of other people. Like, you are afraid of what people might think. You're afraid of, what if I sing wrong? Or, the idea of just singing in front of other people just terrifies you. I have some students that are convinced that they sing better in the shower, just because, they don't have to deal with the fear of somebody listening or somebody watching you sing. So if you love to sing, you want to put your voice out there, but there's something inside you that is holding you back. Maybe there is a fear of not sounding good or whatnot, then I want you to watch this video, because I'd love to share these the simple 3-step process that completely reframed how I understood and approached fear, performance anxiety, vocal performance anxiety, fear of my height, fear of heights. A lot of people may or may not know this, that I'm actually terrified of heights. But anyway, that's a different story. So yes, if you are afraid of if you are afraid of singing, if you're afraid of putting your voice out there, then this video is for you. So first of all, I want to address one thing. I have a lot of students that ask me, how did you get over your fear of singing in front of other people, or singing live, or on video, or on live streams or whatnot? The truth is, and this is the same for, doesn't matter how many years you have experience in singing or performing. All of my students, even the most seasoned, well-known singers, the truth is that some kind of fear, the fear of performing, stage fright, some form of these feelings never really goes away. It never really 100% is eliminated. What changes is how you handle that fear and how you move through those emotions. So know that, when we understand that, then we realize that actually fear is a very, very normal and expected part of the entire process of performing on stage. And even for nowadays, even though we don't have any live stages to perform in temporarily right now, a lot more singers and a lot more performers are actually turning to live streams, right? And there's a lot of anxiety that can come with going live and live streams and things like that. But the fear is not an indicator of your ability. And that's the main thing. Sometimes people get stuck in the feelings of fear and they get overwhelmed. They let it consume them. They let it dictate and limit themselves and rob themselves of opportunities. So I really want to share with you this 3-step process that's going to hopefully help you guys. I know it's helped me with some of my own fears and anxieties, or especially with things like fear of heights, even fears of live streaming performances and things like that. So I hope that you find this helpful. So the first step in this process of how to overcome fear and how to make vocal performance anxiety work for you and not against you. So the first step is to acknowledge fear. You got to acknowledge it. You can't ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist or just hope that it's going to go away, right? you want to recognize that it is, like I said before, it is a normal and expected part of the entire process of performing. All performers, like I said, feel some form of these emotions, whether or not they describe it as fear. There is that, the flutter of the flutter in the stomach, the jittery hands, the quick breathing, all of those things. They don't 100% go away, but we have to learn how to move through them. So the first step is to acknowledge that they are there, and recognize the purpose of fear, right? What is the purpose of fear? The purpose of fear is to keep us safe, right? It's our brain's way. It's the fight or flight syndrome. It's our brain's way of keeping us safe from harm. So if we understand that, we realize that this instinct is helpful. If we don't want to get hit by a car, or we're getting chased in the jungle back in the days of our ancestors, right? Of course, that fear is helpful. But there's many occasions, more often than not, when that kind of fear does not serve us, right? It's not helpful to us. So recognizing these emotions and recognizing the purpose of fear helps us to actually create a little bit of distance. And when we create a little bit of that distance, it allows us to think a little bit more objectively about the reality of the situation, about what really is going on. So first of all, we know we're not going to die, right? We know that going live streams or performing live or going in front of an audience, it's not going to kill us, right? We know that for sure. And also, we also know that because the greatest performers all experience fear of anxiety of some form, we know that fear is not an indicator of our capability. It does not indicate, whether or not we are capable. So we can remind ourselves of this fact. We recognize fear for what it is, create a bit of that distance and acknowledge it. What we can do now is we have a freedom of choice. So what is this choice? The choice is, well, we could stay within the confines of our comfort zone, right? Because the other great thing about fear is that it is an indicator that we are pushing against our comfort zones, right? We're pushing against our boundaries of comfort, right? So we have a choice when we get there. We have a choice. We can stay within the boundaries of our comfort zone, right? But the risk of that, of course, with the pros is that, we're not risking anything, but the risk of that, right? The cons is that we don't grow and we don't experience transformation, right? We just stay within our boundaries, and that's where we want to be. Then that's great, right? But there's the other side of the coin too. There's the other choice. And the other choice is to learn to take risks, learn to manage risks, right? To learn how to move through the emotions of fear so that we can grow, so that we can experience transformation. So that's step one, is to acknowledge the fear and to create a little bit of that distance and recognize it for what it is, so that we can be a little bit more objective in how we approach the things that we want to do, the things that we deeply desire to do, like maybe singing in front of other people. So that leads us to step two of the process. So step two of the process is to practice moving through your fears regularly. So for some people, like one of my business mentor, for example, he is terrified of heights, kind of like me. And his practice is to do very high adrenaline, very, very scary things, right? Like he bungee jumps, skydiving, and things like that, and kind of throws himself into the deep end. So that works for some people. The thing is with something like singing, though, is that there definitely is a lot of preparation that needs to be involved in singing, right? So it is a little bit different to, say, jumping off a plane, right? We just don't think about it and just do it, right? And just move through that fear. It's a little bit different with singing because there are steps that you have to take. There's preparation. You got to know your song. You have to have practice and things like that. But what we could do, right, is baby step our way to getting comfortable with using our voices in front of other people. And so I want to give you a couple of actionable ways that right now, tomorrow, anytime, you can actually start this process of baby stepping your way towards confidently using your voice. So let me give you some practical examples and especially nowadays when In the past, before COVID, we could easily do things like join a choir or, sing karaoke, get a group of people together, things like that, right? Or go to an open mic night, say, for example. But nowadays is really, really different. We don't have those opportunities. So how can we actually use this time to get over our fears of singing and tap into that side of ourselves? Well, one thing is you can very simply find a partner, find a singing buddy to sing along with you. The thing is with that is you want to be finding people that are not just people like your friends, random friends, but people who are on the same journey as you, people who love to sing as much as you do. These people are easy to find. You can go on forums, or maybe people in your community, in your circles, somebody who loves singing as much as you do. We have accountability partners for businesses, right? We can have accountability partners for singing as well. And it's all you have to do is find a buddy and who is as keen as you are about singing, agree to share video clips with one another, sing for one another, and agree that, the feedback that you're giving to one another is the purpose of it is to give you encouragement and to learn how to give and receive feedback, right? Singing buddies are great. I have them. And in our online vocal academy, on our community, we have people matched together into small groups of accountability groups where that's what they're doing. They sing, they post their practices, they tell people what it is that they're working on, and they ask for feedback. And that process may seem super simple, but it's so transformative. And I have so many stories about that, of just that process of, okay, filming yourself, singing something, and then putting it out there. And you're putting it out there in a safe environment with other students who are learning in the same journey as you are. And you're encouraging one another. And if you're not in the inner circle, you can actually do that yourselves. You can totally do that. And I highly recommend that you do that. Another thing you can do is just to record small snippets of singing telegrams, right, for your friends. So instead of wishing them a happy birthday, sing a couple lines, sing happy birthday instead, and send it to them on their phones or whatnot. And not only will that be a great way to connect with other people, but don't underestimate the power of small actions like that. So for some people, I have students, they can't even sing. They don't even have the confidence to sing happy birthday to their friends or to their kids at a kid's birthday party or whatnot. And my point is that these small little things that you can do actually are huge milestones for many, many people. And don't underestimate the power of these little things that you can do to baby step your way towards confidence. Another thing that you can do, and this is something that we teach our Inner Circle monthly membership program, is to create a YouTube account, right? Anybody can do that, create a free YouTube account. And then use it as a way to log your own personal vocal practices. So what do I mean by this? Is one of the things that we teach in the Inner Circle is we teach people how to practice, but we have a very strategic way on how we go about doing that. And we teach students in a step-by-step process of how to practice, how to record that practice, and then how to review it for themselves, and then how to ask for feedback, how to ask for focused feedback so that they can continue to move forward. Because it's one thing to keep practicing and just singing to yourself, but if you don't really know if you're on the right track or not, because you don't know how to ask for that feedback, or you don't know how to hear if you are actually making progress, then it kind of becomes useless in a way, right? It's not as effective, it's not as productive. So one thing you can do is create a YouTube channel, and you can have it unlisted. You don't have to share this with anybody if you don't want to. Create a YouTube channel and start recording yourself, small, short clips of yourself. It doesn't have to be full songs. Start recording yourself, posting it onto the YouTube channel as unlisted or private videos. And what that becomes is your own personal practice log. And it's incredible, because this is basically what we're mimicking with our one-on-one students. When our one-on-one students come in for vocal lessons, they record the lessons, and then they keep coming back and keep recording, and eventually they have a whole stockpile of themselves singing. And so one of the fun things that we like to do in class is we listen to their most recent videos, right, or most recent recordings, and then we contrast it with the earliest recordings. And when you have those available to you and you actually log your practices in this way, you are increasing, you're not only, going through the process of getting comfortable with singing and posting and just, putting your voice out there, but also you're training your ear to get comfortable with hearing your voice being played back and hearing your voice. And also when you have that practice log, you realize, oh my gosh, I have truly progressed. I can hear the difference in that journey. Because sometimes as we are practicing and as we are walking the journey of discovering our voice or learning something new, sometimes those improvements are very, very minor. But through time, those minor shifts become huge transformative shifts. And that's where your confidence really is built, when you realize, oh my gosh, the difference between from day one until now, I can hear that. That is the biggest confidence booster, right? These are just little things. And the one more thing to baby step your way to becoming more confident and overcoming your fear of singing in front of others is to join us in a free workshop. So this is the first time that we are announcing this. We actually are putting together a Sing Together, Learn Together virtual bootcamp, which is going to be a week-long free training. You get to spend a week with me, with our team of mentor coaches. We're going to have some guests coming in as well. And you're going to have different workshops that you can attend. And we're going to be going through, I'm going to be sharing some insider tips to help you to kickstart your journey towards discovering the true power of your voice. Okay, so there's a link in the comment box below if you're interested in enrolling. It's totally free. Okay, no credit card required, totally free. I encourage you to join me. This is the perfect opportunity for you to start getting comfortable in a very safe, very low risk way of start getting comfortable with just getting your voice out there, and not just getting your voice out there publicly, because it is a closed group. It's a private closed group. And so what you're doing is you're putting your voice into a community of like-minded singers who are all there with the purpose of improving and developing confidence in their voice, and also getting feedback and guidance from coaches. So if you've ever wanted to work with me or any one of our team, our mentor coaching team, but you've never had the opportunity to in the past, this is your chance. Okay, this is your chance to be posting and getting feedback from us, from the community and from the coaches as well. And what's going to be really cool is that not only am I going to be sharing some tips and tools that you can use and take action on right away, I'm actually going to be taking you through a step-by-step process that's going to help you to kickstart your journey towards really discovering the true capabilities of you as a singer. And I'm telling you right now, you are far more capable of singing than you think you are. I guarantee 100% that you will be amazed at what you are capable of as a singer, as a vocalist. So I encourage you to join me. It's free. Okay, so that's a Sing Together, Learn Together virtual bootcamp, and that's happening. You can enroll right now, and it's happening on August 17th. So August 17th is when that is happening, and then what you're going to be doing is you're going to be singing a lot. You're going to be getting feedback from other members of the other participants, and every training program, every training day, there's going to be 5 trainings, and each time I'm going to be going into the private group, and I'm going to be reviewing and giving comments on videos that have been posted. So what this means is that you get a vocal coach to listen to you and give you feedback on your voice, to give you guidance on how to move forward. And depending on how many people we get in the group, if we can't get to every single person, I promise you, listening to somebody else's feedback is as valuable as getting feedback for yourself. I can't. This is exactly the process that we do in the inner circle, and it is amazing, because when you hear other people's voices change, when you hear how these tools that I'm going to be sharing with you, when you hear how these tools work in someone else's voice and how they can be applied, you will for sure see how it's going to apply to your own voice. And not only that, you're going to train your ear to learn how to listen to other voices and how to hear the difference between subtle changes of the acoustics of the voice. And it is so incredible. It's going to totally blow your mind, and you'll be super excited, and you're going to be motivated to continue singing, and you're going to fall in love with singing all over again. So I highly encourage you to sign up and then join us in this group. It starts on August 17th. So that's one thing you can do if you really, really want to learn and you're serious about taking that next step with your singing and really discovering yourself on a whole other level. Okay, so we talked about two things, right? I said there was 3 steps. We talked about 2 things. The first thing is to recognize and acknowledge that, yes, singing is scary. Singing in front of other people is really scary, right? It is. I recognize that. I've been performing since I was 8 years old. I've taught people. We at the studio, my mother, Christine Sampson, and I, we teach some of the most popular singers, most well-known and most experienced singers in Hong Kong. And I'm telling you, they all feel the same thing. All the thoughts that you may be having right now about your voice, the fear somebody, what if I go off? What if I go off key? What if nobody likes my voice? What if people think I'm bad? What if I sound whatever? All of the thoughts that you might be having about your own voice, all of the insecurities that you might be having, I promise you, we all feel that. We've all gone through that. You are not alone. And when you join us for the boot camp training, you'll see that. You'll recognize that. You'll see that everybody has insecurities about the voice. However, there are steps you can take to overcome that. And that's the main thing. And I want to show that. I want to share that with all of you. Okay, so we talked about recognizing and step 1, which is to recognize and acknowledge fear for what it is, right? Create a little distance. Know that the fear does not define you, right? That is not an indicator of your ability. It is your brain's way of making you feel safe, right? That's what the fear is. When you create that distance and that separation, you're able to be a little bit more objective. And then when you're more objective, you can make that choice. Okay, do I stay and not do anything about it and just kind of stay in my little, security? I'm safe. I don't want to go there. You can choose to do that, but then you don't experience the growth and transformation, and then you don't tap into what you actually are already capable of doing, right? Or the second choice is to learn to move past that fear, right? Move past that fear and know that it's not gonna kill you. Nothing bad's gonna happen, right? You can move past that fear. And when you do that, that's when you experience growth. That's when you experience transformation. So that's the choice. The second step, after acknowledging the fear, recognizing for what it is, the second step is to practice moving through your fears, right? To practice moving through your fears regularly and baby stepping your way through. So, and I gave you some examples. You can do this stuff on your own. Sure, you can do the stuff like you can create your YouTube channel and just blog your practices. You can grab a buddy, and you can start to share your performances with other people and get feedback from them, right? You could do that on your own, or you could join us for free, right? Join us, and then we take care of all that for you, and we show you the steps, and we take you through the whole journey for 7 days. It's gonna be amazing. I'm so excited. So join us. Third step, which we didn't talk about yet. What is that third step? The third step of moving through how to overcome your fear and how to of singing in front of other people and how to make vocal performance anxiety work for you and not against you. That third step is to reflect on your experiences. And I know that seems simple, but it's so incredibly important because I think that we underestimate our own capabilities, right? And I think it's important to give ourselves a moment to recognize that, whoa, I just did something that is really, truly scary. And I'm proud of it. And to recognize that, because that recognition actually reinforces in yourself your self-belief and reinforces that you are truly capable of far more than you thought you were, right? And that is really important because that is part of developing the muscle memory that you need to move through fear, to move through anxiety, to make choices, to be more objective in the face of fear. And it's interesting. I mean, given the way that the world is right now, there is a lot of fear. There is a lot of anxiety. And what is starting to happen, what I'm noticing with the group, the members of the inner circle now, is that there are so many crossovers right? Because singing and the voice is so personal. It's so tied to your emotions. There's so the mindset piece of singing is so fundamental. You know, you learning to sing in the process of training is not just being able to hit notes. It's actually a lot of it is to do with understanding the mindset of a singer and knowing how to change your beliefs around certain things with regards to your own voice. So what's now happening in the inner circle is that they're I think we had a technical issue. Let me know if we are back online here. I believe we are back because it seems like we are. However, it also seems like we had lost. So if you are still here and you're watching, please drop me a comment. Let me know that you can see me. We had a technical issue here and I got cut off. So I am back. This is well and truly live. That's how you know it's live, right? And also, this stuff happens. Let me tell you, live performances are never a guarantee. And so this reminds me of many times that I've experienced being live on stage in front of an audience, and then we are experiencing some kind of technical issue and stuff happens. So we're going to continue now. All right. So we're pretty much at the end here anyway, but I wanted to come back on to see if there are any questions that you may have about the training. And then to review, let's just review real quick what all the 3 different steps were. So the first step is to acknowledge the fear. Acknowledge it, recognize it for what it is, create that separation, create a bit of distance so that you can think more objectively and know that you have a choice, right? You have a choice. Fear is an indicator that you are moving against your boundary zones, right? You're moving against your comfort zones. So you have a choice whether to stay within those boundaries or to take a little bit of a risk, right? Take a little bit of a risk and take a calculated risk and move beyond that to experience growth and transformation. And then the second step is to practice moving through these feelings of fear on a regular basis. And specifically for singing, what you can do is those 5 things that I mentioned before. Start singing in front of other people and posting videos to friends and loved ones, sharing it in close circles, or grabbing a practice buddy that you can sing along with and share your experiences with one another, share your feedback with one another on your vocal progress. Create a YouTube channel where you can vlog all your practices so you can really see your progress over the times that you have practiced. Or you can join us for free, right? And you get all that taken care of and we'll point you in the right direction. And the third step for moving past your fear is to reflect on your experiences. And I think this is where we got cut off earlier. It's understanding that when you reflect on the things that you've done, you reflect on those the fact that you have moved through your fear, you're reinforcing in your own mind that belief of yourself, the belief of your capability, the belief of your ability to move past fear. And that actually, beyond singing, can have a ripple effect on the rest of your life. And this is what is happening right now. We see it happening right now in the Inner Circle membership. And we've seen it all these years happening with our students too. They come to learn to sing, they want more confidence, and they realize that as they develop the confidence of their voice, they're more willing to put their voice out there in the world. They're more confident about the things that they have to say, the things that they have to share. They're more confident about their ability to move through things that are scary. And that definitely has an impact on other areas of their lives as well. So that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to leave you all with. I hope that you found this helpful. And leave me a comment, post me a question. And again, the link is in the comment box below. So join for free. August 17th is when we begin. And it's going to be a week-long fun experience of singing. It's going to take your mind off of things that you may be worried about right now and help you get in tune with yourself. And all of this is going to benefit other areas. You'll see growth in other areas of your life as well. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you all so much for tuning in spite of that technical difficulty, which happens sometimes. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.